Donovan, what's this streak been like going to start this thing off, going from game to game, kind of the pressure mounting, if that's the right word?
I mean, I wouldn't call it pressure. I mean, I think for us, it's just one, we've played well. We've done we've won the games in different ways. Our habits have gotten better, and it's just every game is a different test. And the biggest thing is it hasn't been just one person throughout the streak. It's been a continuous group effort, and for us, it's obviously fun to learn lessons throughout the season when you're winning. But it's only been 15 games. At the end of the day, we're not winning any championships today or tomorrow. So just how do we just use this as building blocks? But enjoy the ride too. Understand that we're doing something historic, so not to kind of discredit that, but also understand it's a long season. We got plenty of time, and just continue to play good basketball.
And what's the test like coming in here to face the defending champs?
Yeah, especially anytime you play the defending champs, it's definitely going to be a test and something that you circle in. Let alone the team that sent you home. So for us, just coming in with the same mindset we've had these first 15 games, understand it's not going to be an easy feat. Playing on the road, and this is what we do. It's what we play for. It is for these nights, and it's going to be exciting.
Would you see this coming in training camp?
15-0, or just how we're playing? No, I did not. I can't say I saw 15-0, or I saw glimpses of what we can be and continues to be. But it's never not always the case. You come in with a new staff, and it just clicks right away. That's not always the case. So I can't. People ask me that all the time. I can't say I saw this start, but I knew we were going to play good basketball. It's just a matter of how we put it together, and we've done it quickly. So I think it's been great, but no, I definitely didn't. In camp, I didn't see us going 15-0. I can't say that.
What did you take away from that series in Boston last year? Obviously, you were there.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we saw was Evan Mobley's growth and improvement, and you're seeing is kind of how we've gone about, our offense this year. It's not just myself, or it's not just DG. It's kind of, through everybody. But Evan's been, more aggressive, been more dominant with the ball, just because we saw that in the series. And sometimes when you guys are out or you lose, a series, you see things in that. I think and that was his growth, was to become this guy that he's been on the offensive end. We all know what he is defensive, but I think his growth with the ball in his hands, his confidence, his playmaking ability, making the game easier for us. And I think you're starting to see that throughout this year.
With the sample size offensively starting to get a little bit bigger now that you guys are 15 games in, what do you view as the biggest difference on that end of the floor from what you guys were doing last year?
Offensively? I think it's not as predictable. You're looking at it as, Ty Jerome had 24 last night. DG's putting in his 25 and 10 or whatever, having a career year for himself. JA's been consistent. I'm doing my thing. Evan's been consistent. Everybody throughout this roster is doing their part. Karis LeVert's having a fantastic year. And every night it can be somebody different. I think that's what you're seeing from us offensively, is it's not so predictable. You can't come into a game and say, oh, it's going to be this. It could be anybody any given night, and that's what makes the team special. Like I said, it's only 15 games, but you're starting to see that trend that every night, consistently it's somebody else. And I think that's what makes us different.
You guys have been the best first quarter team in basketball. Why have you been able to start games so well?
I think just kind of a hit-first mentality. I think that's kind of it. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game. If you give a team life from the jump, it's kind of hard to fight that uphill battle on a consistent basis. So kind of just being able to hit first on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively.
You talked about how that series last year you guys learned some things. Joe Mazzulla talked about how he wanted Mobley taking twos because the math would work in their favor with the threes they were taking. So how do you feel like Evan and the team overall learned about how you want to be more unpredictable and more versatile so teams get gameplay?
Yeah, I think last year when we played them, I think it was pretty obvious what the game plan was. It was like myself, it was DG, it was pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. Now you have so many different actions, playing with pace, and obviously, there's a math game to it as well. But we're trying to shoot as many threes as we can and quicken to the clock, and get as many possessions as we can. And I think that's what makes it unpredictable. It's a different group than last year, or a different, system than last year. So I think for us, just continuing to implement that, and obviously Boston is phenomenal at it. That's why they won the championship. So for us, just continue to get better at it day by day.
You've been a good team for the last 2 years, but now you have the number one offense in the NBA, 15-0 start. Do you look at tonight's game as if you guys have something to prove, something to show people?
I wouldn't just put it as tonight, to be honest. I think tonight is a great test for us. Obviously you guys are going to do the job of making this game to be what it is, and I think that's natural. And I think there's always going to be juice. It's an NBA Cup game. It's defending champs. They took us out of the playoffs. So obviously there's definitely going to be that intensity. But for us, this is just another test. You know what I mean? Like I said, no championships being won tonight. The biggest thing is how can we continue to get better, and what better way to go against, the champs and testing how good we really are, and continue to take that step and, win and loss, just to find ways to improve. I think that's kind of been the mindset for us, but it's definitely going to be a high intensity environment. I mean, obviously it's the Garden, and whatnot. So I'm excited. I think we're all excited, but at the end of the day, it's just a test. We lose by 40, we win by 40. How can we continue to get better? Because at the end of the day, if we want to be the team we want to be, we got to go through these guys anyway. So it's like, how do we continue to build upon that?
You keep talking about getting better. Like, how much better do you guys think you can become?
I think there are a lot of things we can improve on. I think we're just scratching the surface. I think this is the first time, I use Evan as the example because Evan's been the aggressor offensively. DG's getting back to himself. I've obviously been doing my thing. You're getting Karras playing at a high level. You're getting Ty Jerome. So now you're getting guys playing at levels that I'm not going to say they're not accustomed to, but being able to thrive at what they do. So you can only imagine, it's only November. By the time we start clicking and figuring things out, by the time we get to April, we're going to be that much better just through the growth of the course of a year.
Last one.
Have you stayed close with Jaylen Brown? And do you guys talk trash before a matchup like this? Or
We don't really speak until the game is over, but that's my dog. Him and JT, I've known them both since high school. But no, we don't really talk until the game is over. So probably won't say much to him until we're done. But that's my dog. But I think he said it last year. Once you're on the floor, there's no. He wouldn't even say hi to my mom last year during the playoffs. So that's just kind of, that's just kind of our relationship. Yeah, exactly. Kind of just locked in until the game is over.